Look at this awesome color combo. Moss green, pearl white. You guys voted for it. We installed it. And you're going to learn it all right here at Leggari.com. Enjoy the video. I'm applying our water-based primer pigmented white right over an existing floor, and you can see how good this covers. We're going over a black and purple floor, super dark floor, and one coat is turning it white. Our primer is absolutely amazing. You have a lot of working time with it. It's easy to roll out. It's nice and fluid. It dries super fast, so you can prime a floor within an hour, hour and a half. You can apply your metallic epoxy coat right over the primer. That's how fast it dries. So you can come in, prime the floor, do your epoxy coat, come back the next day, do the top coat, and you're done. And that's why our system is so popular with contractors and homeowners, because it's super fast to install. The products are super easy to work with, and they always look amazing. All right, so I'm gonna split my 3-gallon kit into 1.5 gallons of pearl white and 1.5 gallons of moss green. So I'm gonna pour out 1 gallon. Gonna just get right under it. That way I make sure we're right where we need to be on both of these. Get it all out. It's good to scrape the bottom, scrape the sides. Might as well get as much out of it as you can, as long as you're at the mark that you need to be. And I always like to measure out the epoxy, even though they're already a pre-measured 3-gallon kit. It's always good to measure it out yourself. That way you know that the mix ratio is right and that the product's gonna get hard. So now we got 1 gallon of each. Now I'm gonna do moss green here because this is what you guys voted for. We're gonna do a pearl white base and moss green highlights. This is what you guys voted for. I'm gonna do half of a quart. Over here I'm gonna use the whole pearl white, because white's more of an iridescent color. I'm just gonna use it all. Now we've got our 2 colors. And if you're mixing 2 colors, always mix the lighter color first, and then you can use the same panel for the dark color. So I'm gonna pre-mix these before I even add the hardener. I'm gonna get everything ready. That way when I'm ready to do the floor, I just gotta add the hardener. Good to wear a mask, guys, when you're doing this, or just go really slow. You can also even do it outside. I think we recommend doing it outside in our videos. But if you just go slow, you won't create a bunch of powder in the air. We got the colors pre-mixed in. Now I'm just gonna scrape the side here. That way I can see my marks. Because I need to go to 1.5 gallons of part B. Do the same thing over here. I need to go to 1.5 gallon mark. This is right there. So now I'm gonna take my hardener. Now you need to be ready. You gotta have your cleats ready, your magic trowel ready, or your squeegee. Have everything ready before you add the hardener. Once you add the hardener, you wanna get it out of the bucket as fast as you can, get it on the floor, you have a lot more working time. If you leave this stuff in the bucket, it will start smoking and heat up and become rock hard. You do not wanna leave it in the bucket longer than like 10 minutes max. So get it out quick. So I'm gonna take my hardener, I'm gonna fill this one up to 1.5 gallons. I'm gonna take this one, fill it up to 1.5 gallons. I'm gonna go just a tad bit over since we added the pigments. So now I'm gonna mix up now we got the hardener in it. I'm gonna scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, make sure all the edges are nice and mixed in. And a good rule of thumb is to, once you mix this for about a minute and a half, dump it into a fresh bucket and mix it again for another 30 seconds. And that'll make sure you guys do not get soft spots. I'm not gonna do that here because I've mixed quite a bit of epoxy. I know how to mix it really good. But if it's your first time, always good to dump it into a new bucket and mix it again. That way you know for sure you're not gonna have any soft spots in the floor or counter. I'm gonna mix for another 30 seconds to a minute. Now that we got the resin mixed up, like I said, I'm doing the same amount of each color. We're gonna dump it out randomly everywhere, take the magic trowel, spread it out, and we're gonna leave it. You guys are gonna see how amazing this looks. So I'm gonna we'll do the pearl white first. And when you're doing this, just do, you know, random directions. Don't pour a lot out in one spot. You gotta remember, this has gotta cover the whole floor. So you can start pouring out little amounts, and then we're gonna go back and add to each of them. But I like this technique because we're not doing circles. You know, a lot of guys would get out there and they'll just pour a bead out in this half moon. That's really not a natural look. And to me, it just doesn't, I just don't like the look. So now we got it kind of everywhere. Now we'll go back and kind of hit some spots that look a little light. And notice how I'm going different directions everywhere. I'm not pouring the same diagonal pattern out over and over. They're kind of all going different ways. Now I'm going to try to, you always want to get some right up to your edges. So just walk around, make sure you got some up on the edges good. And then we'll just kind of just let this stuff drizzle out here. So now we're gonna do the moss green. Same technique, guys, but we're just going in between all these all the other pearl white. And again, don't pour out a bunch in one area and then get halfway through the floor and you're out of highlights. If that happens, you can scrape up this stuff and put it somewhere else, but it's just kind of a pain in the butt. But look how awesome these colors are looking. I was a little nervous about this, but this is getting exciting. Again, we're just trying to go in between everywhere that the pearl white's at.
Let me grab this.
I'll get it. So now I'm just going to go and add some thicker piles of the green everywhere I've gotten. And like I said, it's always good to get right up to your edge, guys. Make sure you're getting color right up to your edges everywhere. We'll pick up this bucket. You can see how much dumped out of it by dumping it upside down. And we don't recommend dumping your bucket upside down unless you've mixed it into a brand new bucket like we were saying. Because that'll create you'll get soft spots in that area if you don't mix it in one bucket, add it to another bucket, mix it again like we teach you guys. So where do we need some? Right here? Set this bucket down too, do the same thing. And then I'll start at this end and start moving this stuff around. We're using a craft magic trowel. You can get these on Amazon. I think they're about 20 bucks. They're really awesome magic trowels. They're really thin. It's really good for moving epoxies around. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start somewhere and I'm just gonna start flattening off the floor. Good to kind of get one area all the way done. So I'm just gonna work on getting this edge done. Pull out a little from the wall there. Now I can just go back and forth. And notice how if I want to get right up to my edge, I'll tilt the magic trowel and it'll push a bead off one edge, whatever way I'm tilting it. And most projects you'll have trim going up, so you don't really have to get right to the edges. But this creates a really cool look, especially if you lay the materials out like I did, random directions. Kind of see how thick our floor is getting here from so many coats. So now I got that edge done. I'll just kind of spread it out in the middle. But it's looking really cool, guys. And it's only gonna look better the longer this floor moves around and starts curing out. So see, I just keep doing my edges. I'll do each side of the edge, and then I'll come through in the middle, finish it off. Now our resin goes down to 45 square foot a gallon. It's thickest on the market. There's not another company that puts down their floors as thick as ours. And the reason behind that is you get more movement in the metallics, it marbleizes more, and it's a lot easier to coat a floor. It's gonna cover up any imperfections, any dust particles that are in it. They're gonna sink into this coating because we have such a thick coat out here. You know, a lot of these other companies they're saying 75 square foot or 100 square foot a gallon for a metallic floor, and you're never gonna get the looks we get. And we're still comparable to pricing with these guys, and you're almost getting double the amount of material when you choose our systems. I know I got a big pile there, so I'm going to kind of bring some of that back. And you can tell, when you're out here on the floor, you can kind of tell where it's thin, where it's thick. And the more you guys magic towel it, the more it's going to blend the colors. So just keep that in mind. So now that I'm happy with how thick it is everywhere. I feel like I got a good thick coat. You can either leave it like this, or you can come back and kind of move it around a little more. So what I like to do is just kind of go different directions. I'll pull from wall to wall. And if you go fast, it'll start chattering. See how it kind of leaves these chatters? They do leave a cool look when you're done, but if you go slower and apply just a little pressure, it won't do that. And that's kind of what we're after. We kind of want to just blend this floor a little bit more everywhere. And if you stop, you're going to have a line. So don't try not to stop out here in the middle of the floor, because those will look different on the floor. Just come out, cover those up. And you can go from wall to wall, you know, just random directions. Nice and slow. And this will help even out the floor too, as far as the thickness and And then since we're gonna be stepping off right here, I want to kind of work my way out to where I'm getting off the floor. So I don't want to have to walk back out on the floor with my spikes and run the risk of kind of slipping and putting a drag mark in it. See, you're just being gentle with it. Nice and light. And anywhere you kind of see that you don't like, just hit it a little more. It's that simple, guys. You can also do some 91% isopropyl alcohol and some metallic pigments. Once you're done, we might show you that. I'm not really sure yet. Alright guys, so we've manually troweled it out. The floor's all leveled out. Now we're going to take 91% isopropyl alcohol, and we've added our pearl white pigment into the alcohol. We're going to shake it up, and we're just going to mist the floor, and you're going to see what cool effects this does. It's called the dispersing effect. Just keep in mind, when you're walking out when you're done with the floor, always lift your feet up as you walk. You don't want to kind of drag them, because it will move the epoxy away. So all we're going to do, shake it up as you go, and we're just misting the floor, and it's going to add some white color, and it's going to create some really cool dispersing effects. But look at the cool effects this creates. All you're doing is just hitting it real quick and light, shaking it up as you go. This really adds some character to the floors. And this is our dispersing, call this our dispersing effect, but look what it totally changes the look. And you want to do this right away. You don't want to wait too long to do this. Again, just work your way out of the room. See how it immediately changes the surface and starts affecting the tension of the epoxy and adding some really cool effects. Again guys, this floor is going to look completely different in about an hour. Once it marbleizes and blends out. That's one of the coolest things about our resin is it's truly a living resin. It flows, it moves all the way until it sets up enough to where it gets hard and it doesn't move anymore. We want to thank everyone that voted on this floor. We're going to be constantly adding polls on our community YouTube channel so you guys can vote for future videos. And if you guys have ideas, let us know those too. This floor turned out amazing. I was skeptical with moss green and pearl, but it's actually one of my favorite floors. The colors are amazing. The moss green is an awesome color with white. So I tip my hat to everyone that voted for moss green and pearl white. Good job. Make sure you guys are subscribing to our channel. Make sure your settings are turned on to receive our notifications every time we post a video. You should be getting an email. If it's not, get that set up right. You don't want to miss out on our videos. You don't want to miss out on our giveaways. And again, guys, every 50,000 views this video gets, we're going to be sending out a free sample kit to someone who's commented, subscribed, and shared our video. That's it. Just comment, subscribe, and share, and you're going to be nominated for a chance to win one of our epoxy sample kits. They're awesome. They're super easy to use, and it shows you how easy our materials are to work. If you're not following us on Facebook, go do that. We post all of our customers install photos and videos that they send us from using our products, whether it's a contractor or a DIY or homeowner. You can see all of that on our Facebook page. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate all the support, the followers, and remember, Leggari.com has you covered.